Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mastering Efficiency with Autodesk Takeoff webinar presentation today. My name is Ramsey. Let's go ahead and get started with a little introduction on my background. I'm the Senior Applications Expert here with Imagine Building Solutions Division, and my background is in construction. So I have experience doing estimating project engineering for various commercial and federal projects covering both, pre-con and construction phases. On the docket for today's agenda, we're going to go over the Autodesk Takeoff product and how it can make your takeoffs a lot more efficient. Within the product, you do have several tabs that we will be going over today. The first of which is going to be the homepage. We're going to go over the different dashboards and how you can use them to your benefit. And then from there, we will go into our takeoff packages. So I'm going to show you how you can set up the takeoff packages and how to create new ones and things of that nature. From there, we're going to go over the sheets and models and how you can do your takeoffs on both 2D sheets and 3D models. And then finally, we will wrap up with the reports functionality, which will allow you to pull a report of all the takeoffs that you've done in the project. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so when I first start with acc.autodesk.com, I select the takeoff tool here, and this will bring me to my takeoff product here. As I mentioned before, this is my homepage, and here we can go ahead and view various different dashboards that will give us just a broad overview of what's actually going on in our project. So the first dashboard we have here are our recent sheets and models that have been updated. So you can see a presentation of that there. And then we also have our recent takeoff packages. So all the takeoff packages that we've created and have done takeoffs on, etc. And then I have some broad information here in my welcome screen, like the project's location and things of that nature. And yeah, so that's a little intro as you first log into Takeoff. The next thing you'll get into are the packages. So with package, you do have all your packages housed here, and then when we go to settings here, you will have a couple of settings that you can set up for your project packages. So things like the measurement system, what type of measurements you're going to be utilizing, if it's imperial or metric, and then also your classification systems. So currently I have two classification systems, both UniFormat and MasterFormat. I've used both in the past. That's why I chose those two classification systems there. And then the currency, you can also set that as well. So yeah, within the classification systems, if I were to open one up, you'll see the details here of what that's going to look like. So with UniFormat, I'm going to have my A substructure, B shell, C interiors, D services, equipment, all the way down to Z administrative requirements. And this can all be imported via an Excel template. If you guys are more accustomed to the division 1 through 48, we have that as well, just like that. So depending on your workflow and what you're used to using, you can create you can set up your classification systems for your packages in a multitude of ways. So yeah, next we have our output definitions. These output definitions are what's going to define what my packages actually mean. For example, I have one here called concrete volume. That's going to give me a cubic yard, and that's what I'm trying to keep track of. And then I also have my my level 1 columns that I'm going to do in linear foot, and then my level 1 columns in tonnage. And those are all going to be in these classification systems there. All right, so back to our packages now. we can save a snapshot of our packages. We just give it a name, and then it'll date and timestamp it, and then it'll save to our, it will save that for us. And then from there, we can create new packages from here and give it a new title. So if you wanted flooring package, you just type that in, and then you just create it just like that. So now we have a flooring package added. So I'm not going to use the flooring package since we already have our classification systems. The classification system actually makes it a lot easier for us to do our takeoffs once we get to that stage. Last but not least here, I have two functions here, one being the search function, which will allow me to search my different packages I'm trying to look for. So things like foundation, like that, or just walls in general, like that. So I can really start searching through. And then I can also go ahead and export all of these classification systems. So whether I want my UniFormat classification 1 or classification 2 division, et cetera, et cetera. And then I also have some additional options like document, takeoff type, and locations. Those are defaulted within the system already. All right. If I wanted to delete any of these packages here, I can select all and delete, or I can select individual ones and delete them as well. Right, so once I have all my classifications and packages pretty much set up, I can go into sheets and models now. This is where, this is the differentiator, I believe, of where I can really start to be more efficient with my takeoffs and things of that nature. So I'm just going to go into a 2D sheet, let's say. And yeah, for those of you estimators out there who have done takeoffs in the past with other systems, this might look a little bit familiar to you in terms of 2D takeoff. But here in Takeoff, what we're going to do is we're going to select those takeoff packages we created. So I already have it set up to UniFormat, and that's what I'm going to utilize. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to type in walls, and I'm going to see what kind of walls I'm trying to do a takeoff on. In this case, I want to do interior walls, so I'm going to select interior walls there. Great, so now it's zoomed into my previous takeoffs that I've done for interior walls. I'm just going to continue on with my work. So now I'm going to go ahead here and select takeoff type. As you can see here, I have a whole slew of options here when it comes to takeoff types. So I have my full heights and different measurements for each one. I'm going to select the first one here. As you can see with these two takeoffs that I've done, or this one in red and then this one in green here. Yeah, this one in green here. You can see the different takeoff. It's color coded as well as has its own units there as well. Let's select one that I haven't done yet, and this is going to be full height, 2.5-inch stud, 3 boarded gypsum. If I hit the pencil icon here, I can see the exact breakout definition of that. So this is going to be square footage. The wall height is going to be 10 foot. So that's going to be necessary for me to know, so that when I do my takeoff, it will automatically calculate my square footage based off of the height there. All right, so let's save that, and let's go ahead and select our package. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and start doing a takeoff. So just go around, do full-on takeoff just like that for all of my interior walls in the storage room, and then I just hit enter. Now that 58 linear feet that you see there is basically giving you the linear footage, and you won't see the square footage until you go here into your takeoff type. So not only did I get the linear footage, I also had it calculate the square footage based off of the 10-foot height that I preset it to. So in addition to that, if I were to take off more with that same wall height, it'll just keep adding to the same type that I have selected. Just like that. now I have my units there as well. It works for the same way for other types as well. So if I wanted to do something like, if I wanted to do flooring, for example, yeah, interior flooring finishes. Yep, and let's say I wanted to take off my carpet within a room. Let's say this room here. Just click around just like this. And complete my takeoff like that. So of course it's going to be a little more accurate than that. Let's do a little better job here in this room. As you can see, it is snapping currently because this is a vectorized file and it's able to detect the lines that you are snapping to pretty much as you're doing your takeoff. But yeah, so I just did a square footage. It was able to give me my square footage as well as my square yardage, because these types are already preset, and I'm just pretty much selecting them and doing my takeoff just like that. So yeah, in addition to all of that, you do have a couple of options here up top as well. So as estimators, we currently we currently probably don't have, like, let's say for example, full revised sheets. We're always working on preliminaries, and those can change from time to time. If you ever run into a situation where you do have multiple sheets, you can use the comparison tool here, and it will start to compare your previous sheet with your existing sheet, showing you what exactly has changed. So if I hide what's in blue, my drawing will go away. And then if I hide what's in red, that second drawing will go away. So once I have my two drawings pretty much overlaid on each other, I can start to see in both blue and red what has changed. Blue will be what's previous and red is what's current. And then I will just be able to compare and contrast my two sheets from there. My other option here is to export my sheet into a PDF form. So if I ever wanted to export this, I'll have a couple of options here. The name, what is going to be included, all sheets with takeoff in package, or just the sheet alone, or selected sheets in package. Yeah, and then one thing that's actually a pretty neat feature here is the fact that I don't have to memorize all my keyboard shortcuts. They're all here at single display. So if I ever wanted to do anything, obviously you have your pretty straightforward Control Z, Control Y, redo functions, as well as copy and paste. But if you ever, zoomed in too far or anything like that, you can just press F on your keyboard and that'll fit to view. And so yeah, you can really start to look at these options here, especially if you get lost on how to navigate. This will all be displayed there. All right, so in a nutshell, that is the 2D takeoff there. If I go back to my sheets here on the right, I can toggle between different sheets and do additional takeoffs on new sheets. I'll just have to jump back to my packages, and then I would just pretty much select what I'm trying to do a takeoff on, and then I'll go ahead and take off my type here. So this is another flooring. Yep. And yep, so we have 542 square footage and 60 square yards there. So yeah, pretty much straightforward there when it comes to 2D takeoffs. The other thing I did want to show is that you do have this filter option, which will allow you to filter by tags in 2D sheets and then version sets as well. And then you can also filter through from your 2D sheets to your 3D sheets, as well as your takeoffs. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some 3D takeoffs now. So if we go back to our sheets and models and we go ahead and toggle into our 3D models, you can see that I have a whole slew of different models here that I've already imported. If I go ahead now and just open up my architectural model, for instance, it'll bring up my architectural model. So I'll just go ahead and select fit to view so that I can see the model as a whole. And yeah, from there, I can go ahead and zoom back in, or I can just zoom in a window format. So there we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in. All right. So now that I've zoomed in, I'm able to start performing my takeoff. So yeah, I can do takeoffs on my 3D model similar to the 2D model, but there is some differences here. And yes, I go to my takeoff packages and I select what I'm looking for. So for example, if I wanted to do interior walls, I can go ahead and select my interior wall package just like that. All right, and it'll refresh the model for me. And then I'll just go to my takeoff types, and then I go ahead and select my takeoff that I'm trying to perform. So this time I'm doing interior walls again. So rather than drawing a line, like I did on the 2D sheet, this has broken out all the components for me. So it's as simple as me just clicking, and then it'll calculate that automatic square footage for me pretty instantly. So this is another option that you can utilize here with Autodesk Takeoff, which is the 3D takeoff. It's probably your fastest option when it comes to doing takeoffs. And yep, just like that, depending on the type and the wall height and stuff like that, it will give you that square footage that you're looking for. Now, if I select another wall, it'll give me the square footage for that wall. Another wall, that wall as well. So if you ever wanted to do multi takeoff, what you're going to do is you select the first wall that you're trying to take off, then hold Control on your keyboard, and then select the next wall, and then the next wall, and then it'll just keep totaling up for you just like that. All right, so if you ever came across the fact that you needed to go and do different levels within your takeoff, and that you're not just working on the top view all the time, you have a couple of options here. So the first option is the section box. This will allow you to do elevation view takeoffs based on the Z, Y, and X plane. So if I did X, for example, as you can see, I can drag and drop or drag this arrow in, and then it will start showing me a section cut of my model. Same way if I did my Y plane, I can, from the Y axis, go ahead and reduce this and see a section cut of my model as well, and start doing my takeoff here this way. Then the Z plane is probably more common, and you're pretty much dragging the arrow on the Z plane, and then you can go ahead and reduce everything down to the level that you want, just like that, and then start doing your takeoff here as well. Yep, so in a nutshell, that's how you can do that. And then if we go now to our default, we escape that, and then we go to our model browser. This will allow us to browse our model more efficiently. So I can browse by level. So if I just wanted to do level 1 takeoff, rather than dragging and dropping an arrow, it'll automatically reduce it to just level 1, and then I can start doing my takeoff here as well. So let's go ahead and do a takeoff. I'm going to go ahead and select flooring. Wrong flooring. Let's go with the UniFormat flooring. Yep, just like that. And now I'm just going to zoom my window for a more up close shot. Then I'll do my model browser and select the level I'm trying to take off. All right, and now for the flooring, all we have to do is select the type that we're trying to take off. let's do, yep, large ceramic tile. If I just go ahead and select that, it'll automatically give me the square footage of that room, this room, wherever else I'm trying to select. Again, if I wanted to do a multi-takeoff functionality, I can select one room, hold control on my keyboard, select the next room, select the next room, select the next room. So I can start doing this on every single level, one by one. And all I would have to do is just select the next level up that I'm trying to filter. And it'll go to the next level just like that. So that's how you can filter by levels. You also have the option to filter by category. So this will allow you to filter by different categories. Like if you just wanted to see casework, you can go ahead and turn this on just to show your casework, just like that. So that's all my casework within the model. Same thing with ceilings. If all I want to see is ceilings, whatever the case might be. So if I just want to see my doors, then I can do a door count a lot more efficiently. I'll go ahead and select my door package here. So let's just say these are all interior doors. Go ahead and select our doors again. Just like that. Highlight this. Now all my doors have been selected pretty instantly, and it tells me that I have 427 of each door all throughout my project. So this is how you can really efficiently do your takeoffs. You don't have to just individually click one door at a time or any each count that you're doing. Everything pretty much is time is pretty much reduced for you as you use all of these features here within Autodesk Takeoff. So yeah, if I ever wanted to clear out of this, I just clear the filter, and now I am back to my original model. The next thing that you can filter by is disciplines. So let's say if you just wanted to see the architectural model alone, you can do that. If you just wanted to see the structural model alone, you can do that, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of times I do see people do a combination of these. So for example, if you just wanted to see your walls, you can select the category of walls, and then you can select whether or not you want it to be your structural walls or if you want it to be your architectural walls, whatever the case might be. So you can apply multiple filters, you know, at the same time. You don't have to just do either or, but yeah. So that's how you can search through your model with ease as you're trying to do big takeoffs on your model. So let's go ahead and clear this filter. Perfect. So now I'm back to my model view. So again, you can import any takeoff type that you want. These takeoff types can either come from specific projects that you've done in the past, and you just want to bring them on in from one project to the next. You can also utilize takeoff packages as well as takeoff types that you've already preset as well. This model viewer right here will allow you to toggle between different models. So if you have multiple models like I do, so I have the architectural model as well as the structural model, I can toggle between the two there. Currently there's 3 versions of this. I can toggle through the different versions here as well. And then the rest of these are drawings. So if I ever wanted to go ahead and go back to my 2D drawing, I can do so with ease by selecting 2D drawing. So all without leaving the takeoff viewer. If I wanted to toggle between 2D and 3D, I can do so with ease and do takeoffs in both, just like that. And then if I go to my sheets and models, you'll see that I'm back to my 2D model, 2D sheet view, where I can toggle through different sheets. But yeah, so that's the Takeoff tool in a nutshell. Again, all of my takeoffs will be housed here in my packages, so that I've preset already. Then this is where I upload my models as well as my 2D sheets as well. This publish log will show you what's in the queue to be published and uploaded. So currently we have one sheet that's published. And then we also have a model that's published as well. So if you ever want to keep track of the history, you can use the publish log there. Real briefly, I did want to touch on the files. This files here, if you're currently using ACC, it will tie back to the same files within Docs. So files is kind of your cloud destination for all of your files as a whole, for whether you're using Takeoff or whatever product it might be. And you can start to create folders here, as well as different packages to house your different informations there. But yeah, now let's go ahead and get into our reporting tool. So with reports, you can go ahead and do a takeoff inventory report. If we go to our report template here and we click on our template that we've created, we can give this any name that we want, and then we can just go ahead and modify what we want our report to spit out. So our file format currently set to PDF, but we can set this to Excel if need be. We also have the options to add a cover page, include the cost data if we added a cost data to it, as well as Takeoff instances. And then we also have the ability to turn on any of these modules here that we want to be included within our fields of our report. We also have the filtering option, which will allow us to filter by classification types that we've set in the past, packages and takeoff types there. Then we also have the group functionality if we wanted to group our different presets of our reporting. And then we also have our classification sort types here. And currently we're going to go ahead and set this to classification 1 because that is what, that's the UniFormat that I currently just use for my takeoffs. And now I am pretty much able to go ahead and run a report. So I'll go ahead and select the report template I just created, just like that. I can review all the information again if need be, and then I can just simply run my report. All right, so you will be prompted whenever you do run these takeoff reports. So you can go ahead and save. It's telling you basically save templates can be run again later or scheduled. You can either schedule this or not. For now, I'm just going to say no, just run the report one time. But if you selected yes, that would give you the option there. Let's go ahead and select our report. So currently, while that loads, I did previously do an Excel report as well. So we can open that up and see what that looks like. Yep, so here's our takeoff report there. So this is giving us a full-on detail report, just like we requested. So all of our assigned, unassigned stuff is here, but then everything else within our UniFormat is also shown here as well. So all of our quantities that we did a takeoff on, all the different quantity units. Yep, so it gets very detailed, very fast. These are all my bearing elements. And then if I wanted to go to my foundation elements, foundation bearing elements, these are all my quantities here as well. So, yep, it's just basically giving me all the data details of where what I performed as a takeoff. This right here will show me the actual quantities that I actually have taken off. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is the reporting tool. So, yep. And then finally, last but not least, we do have the members option here. So if I'm ever working with a whole team of estimators and things of that nature, and I want to go ahead and add everybody here to do their own takeoff portions. For example, you'll have an MEP team, you'll have a architectural team, structural team. Typically, that's how those departments are like set up. And all of your takeoffs will pretty much be like a collaborative effort. So anyone doing a takeoff will be doing it within the same models, the same sheets and everything to give you a combined final product at the end for your list of quantities. So yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much Autodesk Takeoff in a nutshell. Hope you guys enjoyed this webinar. Hope you guys found it informational. And yeah, with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Sarah.
Great, thanks, Ramsey. Tons of good information, so thank you. I do see one question that came through in the questions panel. It says, is this only a web-based platform or is there an offline option?
Yes, it is a web-based platform. It's housed within the Autodesk Construction Cloud.
All right, perfect. Looks like that's the only question that was submitted in during the presentation, unless anyone else has something they'd like to ask. Speak now. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Ramsey, and thank you, everybody, for attending today's session. Just a quick reminder that the presentation has been recorded and you'll receive a copy emailed to you after today's presentation. I believe that is scheduled to go out next week, so just keep a lookout for it in your inbox. And then just a second reminder, this is the first webinar of a 3-part pre-construction focused series. So the next pre-construction topic will be presented by Ramsey as well. And that webinar is taking place on July 25th and will be focused on ProEst. So just a reminder, if that's of interest to you, to jump on our website and register for that one. And then looking forward even more, we have our third one in the series that will be focused on additional bidding tools. Ramsey will be presenting on that one as well with his colleague Shane on August 22nd. So always jump on our website and toggle over to the events tab, and you will see all the online and in-person events that we are offering. So with that, I will give you back some extra time in your day and hope you all have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.